Good morning, everyone. In July, I met with investigators, and I wanted them to focus their efforts on individuals who wanted to exploit a child in this community for sex. I knew with the end of summer, the new school year starting, and I wanted to continue to concentrate those collective efforts all the way up until the holiday tomorrow, which is Halloween. Their efforts were extraordinary. We had our Internet Predator unit that focuses on the web, even the dark web. Those individuals who try to hide under the concealment of darkness in the dark web, a light was shined upon them because of these investigators. Our Sexual Predator unit that focuses on the 175 sexual predators that are under supervised release in this community. I'm happy to announce that while we made contact, all 175 were in compliance and reminded that they must abstain from any type of Halloween activities. Along with our human trafficking squad, whose efforts are relentless, day in, day out, all year round. Along with our own internal investigative components, we work with the Florida Department of Law Enforcement. Phenomenal resources, always helps us out in our community. And I know Acting Special Agent in Charge, Brandon Sheely is here. Thank you for being here today. Also, working with One More Child, individual who donates a ton of time. Sarah Mahoney's here today. Sarah, thank you to you and everyone who, at One More Child, when we're able to rescue a victim of human trafficking, there was a time where we could buy them a hotel and we didn't know what to do with them next. Now we have a one-stop shop that takes them in, provides that respite care, housing, counseling, detoxing, whatever it takes. Sarah also, her and Tony Azinger do a phenomenal job. They raise a ton of money that goes to the Florida Sheriff's Association. And what that money's used for is a lot of sheriff's offices throughout the state who don't have the economic ability to conduct these types of operations. It's her resources, her charitable efforts that ensures that these sheriff's offices have the funds so that doesn't become an obstacle to be able to make sure that throughout the state of Florida, human trafficking remains a focus. These individuals and their efforts resulted in 171 arrests. That's 171 individuals that met the fate of an undercover detective and that was placed under arrest. That was 171 potential children in this community who would have been exploited and their lives changed forever. Our investigative components executed residential search warrants connected to the dark web, undercover online chat, and those who traveled to have sex with one of these children, along with the sex offender checks that I mentioned. I want to highlight 4 of the more egregious cases, if I may. Our first one is Chamberlain High School teacher Robert Hess. When you talk about student safety, when you talk about parents and worrying about when our children go to school, we make sure that there's an effort placed on getting them to and from school safely, while they're at school safely, and then throughout the day when they're in the care, custody, and control of school teachers, like this social science teacher who is responsible for mentoring, educating, and safeguarding the children at Chamberlain High School. He agreed to meet our undercover detective, who he thought was a 15-year-old child, and pay $140 to have protected sex for 30 minutes with her. Fortunately, he met our undercover detective and this incredible team, and he was placed under arrest. Can Tran, he's not only an individual who was believing what he believed to be meeting to have sex with a 15-year-old child, he also placed this community at greater risk than in his pursuit of having sex with one of the children in our community. He got spooked. We believe he's observed law enforcement, and he flees. Detectives wisely didn't flee or didn't pursue the fleeing suspect because they didn't want to put this community in danger. But their pursuit to arrest this individual was endless. They never stopped. They knew where he lived, so they went to his house and set up on his home. He sees law enforcement again, and he flees. Our aviation unit is prepared, and the video you're watching now is him fleeing from law enforcement, driving erratically, recklessly, and now ends up striking and hitting an innocent bystander in this community because he doesn't want to pay the price and be apprehended from trying to pay $140 to have sex with a child in this community. You see, he flips his car. He is ultimately placed under arrest. This next individual, Frank Corso, 69-year-old male, is a monster. I don't know how else to describe him. This is what keeps us up at night. This is what movies are made of. 69-year-old Frank Corso, we receive a tip that he's in possession of child pornography. Investigators serve a search warrant at his residence, seize his computer, and they had no idea how horrible it was going to be. This monster, this demented individual, was in possession of 1 million pornographic images and videos of children. As if you felt it couldn't get worse, his daughter and her 4 children, young children, live under the same roof as this individual. He is under arrest. This last case I want to speak about is a highlight for us. Besides putting bad people in jail and safeguarding this community from those who want to prey and exploit the children in this community, we were able to rescue a 17-year-old child. This 17-year-old child is living in a motel with her mom and another sibling. Devontae Farkew Harrison decides to befriend this 17-year-old, and over the next month convinces her that they can make money together. So he decides he's going to traffic this poor 17-year-old child. He charges $400 to have unprotected sex with this 17-year-old child. But he's not a horrible person. He lets her keep $40 for every sexual encounter that he forces her to have. He and Marcel Wash team up because they decide that it can be even more profitable, that the two of them can protect her and schedule even more appointments so they can put more money in their pockets. Our undercover detectives see this advertisement and, acting as a buyer of sex from this 17-year-old child, show up. The undercover detective immediately rescues this 17-year-old child. They place Farkew Harrison under arrest. Marcel Wash decides he's going to flee. Again, their efforts are endless, and it's the short time while later, Mr. Walsh is also placed under arrest. 171 individuals. I can't thank the efforts of everyone involved in this concentrated and collective effort for ensuring that these are 171 people placed under arrest, and we're not sitting here talking about 171 children whose lives are changed forever. As you could imagine, our efforts will be ramped up leading into tomorrow night. There will have an extremely large covert and overt presence out there tomorrow night. My goal is to make sure that every child is scared for all the right reasons under the meaning of the holiday Halloween, but never at any time is a child in danger in our community. What questions can I try to answer?
Were all 171 of these people's charges related to child sex crimes? And if that's true, I mean, how horrific is that?
Yes, each and every one of these 171 individuals, their end goal, their effort was to pay to have sex with a child. And every avenue that's out there where these child molesters like to hide, our human trafficking squad and these investigators are there. They're pursuing the same avenues. I'm highlighting a collective effort here, but I sit here and I'm so proud because our efforts are each and every day. These detectives volunteered to work in these assignments, whether it's working and combing the internet, making sure that we're safeguarded from the sex predators who are out on supervised probation, or the human trafficking squad that's out there, whether it's online. There were times where we posed as a person trying to purchase sex with a child. There were times as we were advertising that we had the child available for the purchase of sex. Their efforts, their collective efforts are a result. It's the reason, their ability, their dedicated efforts is the reason why I can stand here today talking about how we're safeguarding this community.
I see a lot of Hispanic last names here. There are any illegal alien in this arrest?
Not that I'm aware of. No, ma'am.
Any other questions? Given all of the avenues that you mentioned, I imagine you guys obviously have to keep up with, the creativity of these people,
Yeah.
monsters like you call them. How difficult is that, given that it's going on in broad daylight, but also just speaking to the way you guys were able to do that?
Difficult. The hours of operation, holidays, weekends. Difficult when it comes to the economic resources it takes to combat this type of crime. Also very manpower intensive, whether it's hotel motel operations, being in the adult entertainment industry, hotel motel operations, scouring the internet with a lot of different schemes. It takes a lot of effort, a lot of dedicated efforts. And again, that's why their relentless pursuit of the individuals that want to exploit the children's community and safeguard in our community are commendable. Yes. Yes, Nick.
You see it online too, right, on social media. There's so many of these different groups that are organizing even to catch these online predators. You're seeing just regular citizens going out and doing it themselves. So it's really got so out of control. I mean, from what you've monitored just in those few months, have you noticed such a big uptick that this is something that's not going away?
This is certainly not something going away. Since 2021, when we made the decision to create a human trafficking squad, in 2024, when we had to modify our pattern of enforcement, to your point, because we have seen the sexual predators operating a lot more on the internet. So we focused our effort and enhanced the unit, created an internet predator unit, knowing that a lot of it's more technologically driven. So we constantly monitor and modify our enforcement operations, again, to focus on where they're trying to conceal themselves while they prey on our community. Great question. Thank you, everyone. Have a wonderful day. Happy Halloween.